All right. Hello, everyone. Hope you're having a great week so far. Still kind of early in the week, but you can do it. You can do it. I am coming to you. This is my Devlin Series installation. If you're not familiar with what Devlin Series is, it's like the equivalent to Debian SID. So it's rolling release, it's unstable. So you kind of have to be careful with it, when you update. Just be a little cautious. Let's see, I haven't updated in I think three or 4 days. Let's see what we have here. See how many updates I have. Not that I'm gonna actually update right now. I'm interested to see how many updates there are. Oh, good gosh. There's 80 packages to update. That's one reason. I used to love this kind of stuff. I used to love being able to say, yeah, I'm running unstable. It's rolling release. And I got tired of all the updates. But I do still have it on my computer. And I still use it. It's not my daily driver. I use Devlin Stable as my daily driver. I will update this after the video. Okay. Now, I have released my crappy media player. However, I do need to clarify something. I actually released it several days ago, and unfortunately, I've not had time to make a video. And luckily, since I was going to install it on my Devlin Series installation, I actually had a chance to look at it, and I made a major boo-boo in that original release of my crappy media player. So I have released another version. I made the correction, and I really apologize to anyone who has downloaded it and it probably didn't work. But if you'll forgive me and try it again, I promise I will be eternally grateful and beg your forgiveness. What I did, let me just go ahead and open it here. This is what the new version is called. If you can see that on the screen, it says My Crappy Media Player V2. That's for version 2. Let me just go ahead and unzip it so I can show you the one correction I had to make. Let's see, unzip My Crappy Media Player -v2.zip. Okay. What I did in the first release, go to user local share, and right here where it says media player for this folder, I still had that named as music player, and it wasn't working because in the, let me show you in the script, I'm sorry, I'm sniffling. I have kind of those late summer, early fall sniffles. If you look right here, it's saying to read user local share media player. But stupid me still had it listed as music player. Oh, good grief. So, and it was the same in each tab. Media player. Media player. And it was still listed as music player. So I sincerely apologize about that. The one good thing is not that many people had downloaded it. Thank goodness I didn't make a video and alert more people that it was available. But the corrections have been made, and if you're willing to try it again, please do. All right, when you open that zip file, I'm going to move this into my trash can so that we can just see what we have when we unzip that file. We have a music folder. Inside that music folder, there are several more music folders now. In videos, we have 3 folders. I'll explain all that soon. And we also have a lot more radio stations than I did in the My Crappy Music Player release. Alright, so let's install this bad boy. So the first thing you're going to want to do is open your instructions, and your instructions are going to tell you to please turn on your hidden files, because you're going to have this .bashrc and this .xresources. Now, My Crappy Music Player is calling for Xterm to be the terminal that's used for the media player. And what this Xresources is going to do is allow your Xterm, if you don't already have it set up, it's going to make Xterm look better than normal. A lot of times, see, I use Xterm. That's the terminal I use. And you can see here it looks halfway decent. And that's because of the Xresources that I'm using. So you can either, let's just move this over here. We'll open another window. We'll go to the home folder. Scroll down to Xresources. And this is the exact same Xresources file that I'm using. We'll open that up. This is for font rendering. Oh, and there's one thing. If you edit this file for any reason, after you edit that file, you need to run this command in a terminal so that Xterm will adopt whatever, edits you've made. But all this right here, from here down, has to do with Xterm. This first part here is what's making Xterm look halfway decent. And this part here, if I can highlight it, this is what's allowing you to increase the font and decrease the font in Xterm with keyboard shortcuts. Okay, you don't have to use this if you don't want to. If you're fine with that crappy looking Xterm, I should have just left Xterm alone and left everything crappy. But even I have my limits. The bashrc file, I'm not going to go over all this stuff. I talk about the different aliases to use. I give examples like that one. This one, both of those are for music files. This second one, the one I just highlighted, that is for, like, if you have a folder that contains other folders of music files, that's what that alias is for, MPP. And this last one is for videos. Now what I also did with this release, I added several different file types to try to make it a little bit easier for people so they don't have to add stuff or whatever. These are several types of video files. These are several types of music files, and it's the same in this one up here. So hopefully you won't have to add, any or very many music file types to these alias commands. And if you scroll all the way down to the bottom, I say all of that to say this: here are the lines you need to add to your bash RC file. So I'm going to do that right now. This first one is for a folder which contains music files. This second one is for a folder that contains other folders within it, and in those other folders there are music files. And what this will do, it will play through each folder one at a time. And this last one, that's for your video files. Okay? One other thing I want to point out, what's going to happen when you enter this alias in the terminal, it's going to play it's going to play the music files in order how they're listed within these curly brackets. So it's going to play MP3 files first. If it doesn't find MP3 files, it'll move on to the next one until it finally finds one that it'll play. And if it doesn't find any of those, you'll need to add your own music file types within these curly brackets. Make sure if you do that, I can't think of another file type off the top of my head, but what you'll want to do, you don't want any spaces in between any of these music file types and the commas. So let me just make up a file type. Let's say I had a file type called MXP. So I would add comma MXP with no file type. With no spaces. Oh, good grief. Okay. So I'm going to add this to my actual bash RC file. Go to this one. Let me open up my bash RC. Scroll all the way down to the bottom. And if you don't have anything under, on the bottom, just add those lines underneath whatever your last line of your bash RC is. Okay. So now we have our aliases in place. I want to save that file. I'll close it. And I don't need this anymore. No, I don't want to save that. Now for the fun part. Okay, we have a music folder and a videos folder. And the folders that are contained within these two folders will go in your actual music and videos folders. So let's open my music folder. I'm going to open the music folder that came from the zip file, and I'm going to move all these over here into this actual music folder. Next, what I want to do, any of the music types that are in these, or that would go in these type of folders, we have alternative rock, Christian music, classical music, blah, blah, blah. We want to move those type of files into those folders. So I'm going to copy every one of these, and I'm going to move those into my classic rock folder. Let me open that, and there they are. That's all I have on my Devlin series. Okay. Now let's go back. We have a videos folder. I will open my actual videos folder. I'm going to open the videos folder from the zip file. And we have these 3 folders. And my idea behind this was to have 3 folders. One for movies. If you have downloaded movies, you know, full length feature films, put them in this folder here. If you do screencasts, you're a YouTuber, whatever, you do screencasts, you can put them in the screencast folder. And this videos folder, that's for any videos like you might download from YouTube, Odyssey, you know, any of those online streaming video websites, you can put them in there. So I have 2 movies right here that I can actually put in my movies folder. And there they are. Screencasts, that's my current screencast. I am not going to put that in there. Here's one screencast I can put in that screencast folder. And videos, these are some videos that I put on YouTube. I'm going to move those into my videos folder. I'm not going to mess with that one. I don't want to risk doing anything that might mess it up. Okay, so we have done all that. Go back. Now we've taken care of everything except this user folder. So I need to open up my file manager as root. And if we follow the file path of this folder right here, it's in user, so that's in my file system. I'll go to user, local, and I have 2 folders, one for bin and one for share. So first I'm going to open up my bin folder, and I'm going to copy these and put them in here. Now the first thing I want to do after I do that is make sure that it's got the right permissions so that anyone, and it does, anyone can run that script. And even though this says Dan, well, I'll go ahead and change it. Root. Okay. And the same thing with CMP tray. Anyone can run it. I'll change that to root. You don't have to change that to root. I could leave it as Dan and it would still work. Okay. And we have a share folder. So I'm going to go back to user local and open up the share folder. And in that share folder, in my instructions, I say if you don't have an applications folder in user local share, you can just copy this and move it over there. And that's the desktop file that will make it appear in your menu. Okay, user local share applications. If you don't want it to appear in your menu, you don't have to. And the same thing for media player. Copy that and move it over here. And we are basically finished now. So let's open this up. Now in the instructions, I talk about, so you don't have to log out. Well, no, we're not finished. I'm sorry. Let me open up those instructions. Let me move them over a little bit. Let me find it. You need to add a couple of things to your auto start file. Let me find it. Okay. What I talk about, if you use that X resources file, it may not automatically work. So what you'll need to do is in your auto start, let me change this size. Now I already have load X resources. You'll need to add this line to your X or your auto start file. And what that's going to do is every time you start up your computer, whether it's a fresh boot or you log out and log back in, it's going to load that X resources file so that Xterm looks decent. And another thing we need to, where is it? I can't find it. Here it is. Okay. If you want the system tray icon to appear so that you can click it to open My Crappy Media Player, add CMP tray to your auto start. So let's do that. I'm going to come down here, start CMP tray. Now you notice that's commented out. That's just a little note for me to know what's going on. So I'm going to add, I'm going to make it sleep 4 seconds and CMP dash tray ampersand. Save the file. And in those instructions, I say if you don't want to have to log out or reboot and you want to go ahead and see CMP tray down here in your system tray, you can open up your run command and run CMP there it is right there, CMP tray. And if you notice, it just appeared down here, My Crappy Media Player. You can click that and it should open like it just did. And it should be in our menu. Let's just see. It's not there, so let me update my menu. And there's My Crappy Media Player in my menu. and it opens that way too. Now, here in the GUI, I've added the keyboard shortcuts that work with each tab. In the music player, it will use Control plus the letter C will move to the next song, and Control plus Z will stop the player. So the only ones I have, and I'm probably going to get the YouTube police on my case because I'm going to go ahead and play it. I have classic rock. That's the only ones, if you remember. That's the only music files that I had, and I moved those into the classic rock folder. So let me click on that. Just takes one click, and I can enter the alias MP. And it's playing. I'm going to hit Control C to move to the next song. And now I'm going to hit Control Z to stop it. Okay. Radio stations. You only have one keyboard shortcut. Control plus C will stop the radio station. Now the thing about these radio stations, what I did was I asked a few Mio Linux users what type of radio stations they would like to listen to if they could. So that is where all these extra radio stations came from. And you can click on any one of these. I'm going to click on this one. Progressive metal and rock music. Oh gosh. There's no alias that you have to enter. You click one time on a radio station, it's going to play it. Okay, close that one. Let's try another one. Real Punk Radio. Oh, and if you hover over a radio station, it'll give you a little more information. Let's try that one. Okay, Control C to stop it. So if you don't want any of these radio stations, just, you can just delete them. You don't have to have all these on your media player. You can just delete what you don't want. Videos. Let's see, I put some, let's do this. Now here's some keyboard shortcuts. The letter F will toggle the video full screen. Escape will either quit or move to the next video, depending on how many videos you have in your folder. The space bar will pause the video. M will mute the video, but the video will keep playing. And you can open your terminal and see Man FF Play for more keyboard shortcuts and more information. All right, so let's do movies. And that alias is MPV. It's going through each one until it finds. Okay, something is wrong. Movies. I did put those movies in the... What happened to my... Oh dear, what did I do? What happened to my video folders? Okay, let's see what we have going on here. Oh, I put them in my... Oh, God. Oh, even I'm an idiot. All right, let me just move these over here. What I did, I put my movies in that downloaded zip file. So now let's try it again. MPV. All right, there's a movie. I can hit F to make it full screen. I can hit F again to take it off full screen, and blah, blah, blah. Space will pause the video. Space again will unpause it. M will mute the video, but the video will keep playing. M again to unmute it. You get the idea. God, what an idiot I am at times. All right, I'm going to close that. So there you go. That this guy's an idiot. My crappy media player is ready again. It's ready for download, and I fixed the issue. And again, I apologize to anyone who downloaded the first version and you weren't able to play anything. Well, now I fixed it, and I really apologize. Please forgive me. All right, you guys have a great rest of the week coming up, and take care. Thanks a lot.